Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Halloween Cup, showcasing another very powerful team featuring double dragons. Now, these battles were submitted to the channel by longtime viewer and prominent member of my Discord, Swampert Hater. Swampert Hater was kind enough to submit these battles for us to have a look at and enjoy. And yeah, this is a team that we had theory crafted in my Discord the other day. And he decided to run it and put in some work in the Halloween Cup. It is a very powerful team, addresses a lot of what we see in the current meta. It does have a major core breaker, I would say, Wormadam. But as I always say on this channel, one Pokemon cannot do it all. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Big thanks to Swampert Hater once again for the submission. Always very much appreciated. And here we go. Fortress, a core breaker for this team. It's a team effort between Nidoqueen and Dagalge here. Zweilous has the worst matchup here, but gonna go right for the Earth Power. It's going to do some considerable neutral damage, does about half, and Nidoqueen is resisting this fast move pressure. But the Fortress is also double resisting Nidoqueen. It's going to shield out of caution. This is the Earthquake. They do go right for it. That is a very good shield there, and now going to look to debuff with a Poison Fang. This is a solid play here to lower the defense, and then going to pivot into Dagalge here to take out this Fortress. So this is the team effort that I often refer to when having to tackle a core breaker, and they're staying in to get farmed down. That is brilliant for Swampert Hater here. Got out of that relatively unscathed. Nidoqueen still very healthy, and that is a good thing because we are now staring at a card bank here. So Dagalge doing the job to perfection, drawing out the hard counter to the Zweilous in the back. Swampert Hater running the team to perfection thus far here. And just going to go for the chip damage with the super effective Aqua Tails here. And of course the Dragon Tails are double resisted. Should let this go and hang on to the shield. Really don't know what they could have lurking in the back. They do go Rock Slide. Doesn't KO. Dagalge has some nice bulk at the 1500 CP limit. And now we have the Nidoqueen on the card bank, which is exactly what you want to see. Gonna go for the Poison Fang, hoping to even up the shielding scenario. This is an okay play. Because they could want to shield. Again, you don't know where their motivations lie, but they have a Golbat in the back, so gonna put the Zweilous here. Zweilous is just here to get in as much damage as possible. Gonna go for the Body Slam on CMP tie here. Zweilous does win that CMP. And gonna let all this go. The win condition now lies with Nidoqueen. Swampert Hater recognizing the play here from to close this one out successfully. Look at the work Zweilous has put in thus far. That is phenomenal work. And the Poison Fang does not KO, but Nidoqueen can easily farm this thing down and take out that card bank. The opponent recognizes that it was not trending in the right direction. They do top left. Good game, well played. Double Dragons, very powerful in this Halloween Cup meta. And here we go. Another not so good lead. Greninja going to immediately safe swap into Dagalge here. Dagalge, an amazing answer to Greninja, as well as Charjabug, two very common Pokemon in this meta here. They're going to chip with a Night Slash and then pivot into a Golbat. So this is okay. Going to build up to the Outrage and bait with an Aqua Tail here. Outrage would do a metric ton of damage, so the opponent does shield the Aqua Tail bait and likely not going to make it to another Outrage, but that is okay. They're going to go for a Poison Fang here, and I would presume go for a farm down. I'm going to just chip with another Aqua Tail on the way out. If the opponent is counting, they should know that this is not an Outrage, and they do let that go, but they do get the farm down. So going to be interesting to see what Swampert Hater does here. Should bring in the Nidoqueen, but this Golbat is loaded. Gonna bring in the Zweilous to absorb the damage here. So this is an okay play. Again, they led with a dark type. They've got one poison. Could be dark double poison. You never know, but gonna farm all the way down here. And it is dark double poison with Nidoqueen and Golbat in the back. Classic line for this Halloween Cup. Gonna look to go for a Body Slam here. But you do want to preserve this Zweilous for that Greninja. Still holding on to a one shield advantage and now pivots into Nidoqueen. The opposing Nidoqueen is at Earth Power Energy, and Swampert Hater going to shield, evening up the shields here. And now going to look to build up to an Earth Power of his own, but going to bait with a Poison Fang here. Not likely they shield, but they do let that go. Opponents trainers who run Greninja often want to preserve at least one shield for it. Swampert here going to let the Earth Power go. It's now all up to Zweilous. Gets that Dragon Breath down. The Greninja's energy dry, so they are loading up here. Gonna go for the Body Slam. This would do some considerable neutral damage to the very squishy Greninja, grabbing that shield. And the opponent is now at a move here. Gonna shield this. Any one move would KO. They go Night Slash. They're now one Water Shuriken off, and Swampert Hater just needed one Dragon Breath to get there, outpacing by 2 turns. And we are saying bye-bye to the Greninja, courtesy of Zweilous. Putting in work, closing strong. Good game, well played. So far, so good with this double Dragons line. Swampert Hater putting in the work. You love to see it. And here we go. Dagalge lead, not ideal for Nidoqueen. Gonna pivot into his own Dagalge for the mirror. And they meet this with an Escavalier. So a decent answer to Dagalge. Not the best, but of course it can hit for massive super effective with the drill run. This would KO, so Swampert Hater does shield and gonna look to fire back with an Aqua Tail here. Now Escavalier very squishy, but can survive this Aqua Tail, and they do let that go. But they cannot survive another, so gonna look to throw 3 and then the move. That is proper timing when you run a 3-turn up against a 2-turn. And grabbing the shield with the next Aqua Tail here. Dagalge, again, has nice bulk. Would have made it to another Aqua Tail, forcing the opponent to throw. Gonna let this go and look to resisted farm down with Nidoqueen. That is a good energy lead for Nidoqueen here, although the Dagalge will outpace to an Earth Power. But Nidoqueen survives an Aqua Tail here, no problem. Can absolutely let this go. And gonna look to build and bait with a Poison Fang. Slightly inefficient timing there. I want to throw 1, 4, or 7, but that's okay. They do shield out of caution. Phenomenal. And now gonna pivot into the Zweilous here, getting some nice debuffed Dragon Breaths in onto that Dagalge here. And they've got a Toxicroak in the back. So not ideal, but look how much damage that Body Slam does. Forcing the Toxicroak to throw immediately here. Swampert Hater gonna let this go. Gonna farm down with Nidoqueen. They are resisting this fast move pressure here and gets the farm down on fractional HP, leaving with the Earth Power. This Dagalge has no shields. Oh my goodness, we're saying bye-bye to the Dagalge, courtesy of Nidoqueen. With a shield to spare, you love to see it. Good game, well played. Big thanks to Swampert Hater once again for the battle submission. Phenomenal gameplay thus far. But here we go. Guzzlord lead. Gonna instantly pivot into Dagalge. So with a lead like this, I would generally like to stay in a little bit. Maybe threaten with a Poison Fang. They would generally let it go. You would get that debuff, and then Dagalge would get some nice Dragon Tails in with that debuff. But pivots instantly. Shields up here pretty early and is now met with a Toxapex. They shield the Outrage. Shields are now even here. And I do imagine this Toxapex is going to take full advantage of the pacing here. And they will now look to throw. And even a resisted Brine would take it out at this stage here. But the Toxapex is at half health. Swampert Hater calculating here a little bit. Going to throw Zweilous in to get in some work here. Put in a little bit of damage on this Toxapex. I think you want to bring in Nidoqueen here because Nidoqueen comfortably tanks a Brine, but the Toxapex was loaded, to be fair. Shields up the Sludge Wave successfully, and now the Toxapex cannot make it to another Sludge Wave in time. They instantly pivot back into the Guzzlord, so gonna chip here. I like this play. They do let it go, but I would not throw this next Body Slam here. I would look to bank this move and then instantly pivot into Nidoqueen because you don't know what they have in the back, and if you have a Body Slam loaded, Zweilous typically wins CMP tie over most things in this meta, but that is okay. Shields are now down on both ends. They have a Shadow Golbat in the back, so a few misplays here, but that is okay thus far. Nidoqueen can only really go for these Poison Fangs and look to debuff the Golbat, but it's not trending in the right direction here as they do make it to a potential Shadow Ball. No reason not to throw it. They do throw it, and Zweilous is just not healthy enough. So the banked move would have really come in clutch here. They do just make it to a Poison Fang, and unfortunately, Not gonna quite be able to get it done here. That's okay, it happened, no big deal. Good game, well played to them. Double Dragons proving to be a very effective strategy in this Halloween Cup. And here we go. About as good of a lead as you could ever hope for. Charger Bug on Nidoqueen. They safe swap a Jelly, and it is Zweilous time. Holy smokes, let's go. Zweilous, as you can imagine, absolutely shuts down Jellicent like you wouldn't believe. They go for the resisted Shadow Ball. That is the correct play by them. And Swampert Hater gonna look to put this Jellicent out of its misery with a Dark Pulse. They shield. Hello, Jellicent should not be shielding in this circumstance. This is not a flippable matchup. Swampert Hater can easily let this go and farm this Jelly all the way down. So slight misplay by the opponent, and does get that farm down, leaving with minimal health and loaded energy. There is not much more you could ask for out of that situation. And gonna go for the Dark Pulse, doing big damage on the Charger Bug as the Zweilous does go down. Swampert Hater is in cruise control, has the alignment. They've got a Runerigus in the back, and the opponent could not maintain alignment. They top left. Good game, well played. Nidoqueen Double Dragons, definitely my kind of team. Very effective ABB style team here. But here we go. Zweilous lead, very similar to the Guzzlord lead. Looks like Swampert Hater is making the adjustment, staying in a little bit to pressure the Zweilous very early on here. Can survive a Body Slam here, but gonna shield out of caution. That's an okay shield, and gonna fire back with the Poison Fang here. And this is right about where I would pivot to get those Dragon Tails in, and Swampert Hater making the adjustment, but the opponent staying in to get Dragon Tail down. They don't make it to another move. That was brilliant by Swampert Hater. That worked out very well, and it gets even better. Holy smokes, they have a Charger Bug in the back. We have, of course, two phenomenal answers to a Charger Bug on this team. Two very hard walls to it, coming in the form of Nidoqueen and Dagalge, which we see here. Going to bait with an Aqua Tail here. They let that go. That was a very gutsy call by the opponent. Going to throw one and then the move. That is proper timing here. And they should probably start shielding now. They do shield the second Aqua Tail, and this opponent cannot farm down. They're going to have to throw. They do throw on the CMP tie here, and Swampert Hater gonna let this go. Can easily come in with Nidoqueen and farm this thing all the way down. They don't stick around for that. They've got their own Nidoqueen in the back, and gonna meet this with Zweilous here. And Zweilous does win that CMP tie, so gonna get this Body Slam off and see what the Nidoqueen wants to do. They shield, and that may have sealed the deal for the opponent here. Now, Swampert Hater can easily let this go. Zweilous survives that. Has okay bulk, about average bulk, but that does not make it to the next Body Slam, but this is fine for Nidoqueen. Can let this go. This is just a Poison Fang, but going to shield out of caution. Might have lost track of the counts. That is okay. You do not need shields for Charger Bug, especially at that health range. And now Swampert Hater going to easily clean this up with Nidoqueen. We say bye-bye to the opposing Nidoqueen, and we farm down, or just about farm down, the Charger Bug. The opponent fighting to the very end. This is fine. That will not KO, of course. And the Charger Bug goes down, courtesy of Nidoqueen. That's going to be a good game, well played. So if you have all three of these Pokemon available, I would definitely suggest giving it a try. It puts in the work. And here we go. Dagalge Lee going to instantly pivot yet again into his own Dagalge for the mirror, but this one is staying in a little bit, which kind of clues us in that they are perhaps weak to a dragon in the back. Gonna let this Aqua Tail go. Dagalge does survive, and gonna fire off his own Dragon Tail, but that Dagalge did sneak through another Dragon Tail, and from this health range, that may just KO. It does, which is unfortunate. So that's not ideal, but this Dagalge is very low. Gonna bring in Zweilous to farm down, taking minimal damage in the process here. Swampert Hater likely reading that they're weak to a dragon in the back, so they're thinking, and not particularly so. Thus far, we see a Toxapex here, but Swampert Hater going to stay in here a little bit to throw this Body Slam. So right about here, I would be making the read that they're weak in the back, so I would pivot, or bank this Body Slam and at least pivot, but Swampert Hater is going to go for the back-to-back here and put in some work up against this Toxapex. A lot of trainers are nervous in the Nidoqueen Toxapex matchup, but Toxapex does not hit hard, so you can tank the brines no problem, especially as a non-shadow, but staying in here to try and take out the opposing Toxapex here. Gonna have to eat another brine in the process. Doesn't KO, but Zweilous is getting very low. They were weak to a dragon in the back. They've got a victory bell. A dirty, disgusting Shadow Vic lurking in the back, so perhaps a slight misplay there on the team read, just staying in, allowing Zweilous to get so low. But holy smokes, Nidoqueen is putting in the work here. I'm gonna shield this and try and get more of those Poison Fangs in, but doesn't quite get off the Poison Fangs. Zweilous will get the farm down, but is a bit too low, I'm afraid, to take out the Toxapex, and does go down to the Poison Jabs. Unfortunate. Good game, well played. Awesome battles thus far, and if you want to have your battle submitted on the channel, link in the description to submit your battles to be featured on the channel. And here we go. Oh my goodness, Powder Snow A9? What am I seeing here in the Halloween Cup? Holy smokes. What a core breaker. This is awful for the entire team. Nidoqueen is the best answer. And they do grab a shield and pivot into a Toxicroak. So Swampert Hater going to soften it up with a Poison Fang. And then I presume, pivot into Dagalge. So far, a very, very tricky line to contend with here. Toxicroak, not the best for this team either. But much better than, of course, a Powder Snow A9. Holy smokes. Gonna look to get off this Aqua Tail here after taking out that Toxicroak. So now they do come back in with the A9. Dagalge has just enough bulk to get off an Aqua Tail, but this is a non-shadow here. Holy smokes. And the non-shadow, of course, quite a bit bulkier than the shadow. Just doesn't seem like it's taking any damage here in this matchup. Gonna let this go. Has to let this go. Swampert Hater does not know what they have in the back. It's an opposing Nidoqueen here. So again, gonna soften it up with a Poison Fang. And gotta get out of here into Zweilous and hope for the best. Holy smokes, but it is not looking good. Oh man, the last thing that I would expect to see in this meta is a Powder Snow A9. Holy smokes, but it found itself paired with just the right team here. Holy smokes. Gonna go for the Body Slam. Swampert Hater trying his best here to do what he can, but it is not looking good. This Nidoqueen is gonna debuff this Zweilous into oblivion. Absolutely has to shield this and is gonna struggle to farm down. Gonna have to throw the Body Slam, but that A9 still too healthy. It is double resisting this fast move pressure. This one is not looking good, my friends. They do get that farm down. Yeah, this one's not going to happen, unfortunately. Tried his best, made it extremely close. That's just a credit to Swampert Hater's abilities, but yeah, just could not overcome the Powder Snow A9. Good game, well played. Oh man, yeah, Powder Snow A9. That is just not something you see every day, but Swampert Hater made it close. But here we go, making up for it with a juicy Galvantula lead. They swap out into a Poniard. So this is a very difficult safe swap to handle. Again, it's going to take a bit of a team effort. We've got two amazing answers to that Galvantula. So Swampert Hater is going to go for a Poison Fang here, and the opponent shields, they were not counting, and now it is Dagalge time. So getting that debuff off was clutch, of course. Poniard, not known for its bulk, so even these resisted Dragon Tails with the debuff are really chunking this little chess piece here. And Dagalge can let whatever this is go. Dagalge tanks it, no problem. Is resisting this fast move pressure with the poison typing, and that's a major obstacle out of the way. Up a shield here. Dagalge still pretty healthy. Definitely healthy enough to handle this Galvantula here. Gonna go for the Aqua Tail. And this would be doing some meaningful neutral damage. This is a shadow, so it is about as squishy as it gets, but they let it go anyways, and they've got a Wormadam in the back. Holy smokes. So very dominant into the lead, but the back line is very tricky for this team to handle. But Swampert Hater is going to bring in the Zweilous. That is the correct play. And this really isn't all that bad for Zweilous, especially with the shield advantage, as can easily just shield these bug buzzes here and will easily make it to a Dark Pulse to put in some damage on this Wormadam here. So very tricky backline here, but Swampert Hater is handling this to perfection thus far. They do let through the Dark Pulse. That's a misplay by the opponent, and Swampert Hater is just going to look to get rid of this with a Body Slam. Now forcing a shield on the resisted Body Slam. Can shield this, but gonna elect to let it go. The Wormadam is in a manageable health range. This gal will make it to a move. Can shield this. This is the only move that will be thrown remaining here. So yeah, it does shield the resisted lunge. Gets that farm down. Just about leaves with a Poison Fang, and this is Nighty-Night Sleep Tight for this very tricky backline. Swampert Hater putting in work. We say bye-bye to the Wormadam, and Nidoqueen is left standing in the end. So that is how you tackle a Wormadam, guys. And that is the team, my friends. So Double Dragons was putting in the work in the Halloween Cup, able to work out of some very tricky, sticky situations. Shouts to Swampert Hater again, one of my longtime viewers on the channel, and very prominent member of my Discord, very active on my Discord. So yeah, Swampert Hater was kind enough to submit these battles, and they were amazing. Nidoqueen Double Dragons puts in the work, addresses a lot of what we generally see in the Halloween Cup, and again, able to work its way out of some tricky situations. So yeah, the team puts in the work, and big thanks once again to Swampert Hater for the submission. Always very much appreciated. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.